As I said in a previous video, the past few months have contained some of the most exhilarating but also stressful times in the last few years. And while I've built out this incredible space, my true love is to get back to the outdoors. It's also been a while since I've had the opportunity to sit down and talk with you in a casual format about my plans for the channel and where I want us to go over the next year. So let's dive in. This is the 2024 end-of-year channel update from me, Nicholas Young, and my company, Fictive Flame. Back in May, when we purchased this 1970s era home and moved in, I couldn't have foreseen what the next few months would hold. As part of the purchase of this home, I negotiated a new roof. I knew that it needed some repairs, and I baked that in as part of the negotiating price. Unfortunately, that new roof began to leak just a few weeks after we moved into the property. The day after it began to leak, I asked the company to make good on their warranty and help me with repairs. They unfortunately refused and suggested that I go through an arduous legal process that involved submitting quotes to them for possible approval. The reality was there were no quotes to submit. Our house was being damaged by the leaky roof, and I needed to dry it out as soon as possible. Dragging the whole process of getting my home dried out through a legal quagmire was not on my list of priorities. And so I hired a company who could be here the same day to help mitigate the disaster, to begin drying out the home under the assumption that I would be able to recoup the costs later on. Now, as you might imagine, based on the fact that I haven't produced steady creative output in a few months, that was also a dream. I had to threaten to sue the roofer to have them make good on their warranty claims rather than simply dealing with repairs out of pocket. And this was a really difficult period, which began in the middle of May and wrapped up in early to mid-June. It made living here, let alone producing any sort of creative work, almost impossible. After that crisis had been averted, frankly, all I wanted to do was rest. I wanted to exist in my home with my family, do some of my normal day job work. But unfortunately, in the little time that I had had to deal with creeping medical issues, I developed a herniated disc in my spine and needed to go in for back surgery in the middle of October. Previous to that, between the period of middle of June and October, I was going through a process of insurance appeals, trying to just continue to live, to focus on work and the things that I knew my family needed out of me most. Making videos was so far down the list of priorities that, frankly, I couldn't consider it. Now we come to the last few months. Late October, November, and early December have seen me recovering. I'm incredibly grateful that I can now lift 25 pounds versus 10. And that means that I can lift a bag that includes my camera, my laptop, and everything I need to take you on an outdoor adventure. So while I had to hit the pause button for a long time, I'm excited for what the next chapter will hold. And now that we've went over the last few months and why I disappeared from YouTube, let's talk about future plans and goals. Obviously, I want you to see Colorado, this beautiful state that I call home, through my eyes. As a photographer, everybody has a unique angle, and I want to take you on adventures that will help you understand Colorado the way that I see it. That includes a few of my favorite places in the state. And we're going to start with Dillon Reservoir, the Jeffco Mountain Parks, and the Continental Divide. Now, before we go on these adventures, as a double amputee, I need to have a new set of prosthetics made. And I'm willing to bet that's a process that many of you haven't seen up close, especially not through the eyes of an engineer. And I want to take you along for the process and show you everything that I can, including what my legs cost before and after insurance. The other thing we're going to dive into is outfitting our 2023 Subaru Outback for day camping. After our 2018 Hyundai was stolen out of the parking garage, I realized that I should do what everybody else in Colorado does and just go down to the Subaru dealership. At the time, I also didn't realize how capable a car we were purchasing, because our Outback can take the family almost anywhere in almost any conditions. And I think it'll make a great camping rig as well, with a few minor modifications. And then finally, I want to review every smart home product that I've installed here in our home. Everything was purchased at my own expense, and I'll be doing long-term reviews on almost every product that is installed now. I would also like to do a review and tier list of every piece of gear in my studio, much like what Ben Jordan did a few months ago. Most of what I use on a daily basis are products that I acquired a few years ago and have stuck with me through multiple studio setups. Take this Heil PR40 microphone. I bought it when I lived in Chicago and had a broadcasting studio, but it's now the backbone of all the productions here at Ignition. It's been with me through multiple studio moves and has continued to serve me well. So that's a rough outline of the future. Thanks so much for sticking with me, and I hope you'll stay tuned because I have many more adventures planned, not the least of which is getting a new set of prosthetics made. And that's an adventure all its own, as you will soon learn. Once again, thank you so much for being with me. Thank you for watching. And as always, stay curious.